And top of the morning to you, Jim Holley with you on this Saturday morning. Thank God for each and every one of you. Certainly, it's good to be with you on this 21 days in the month of September. That's right. The year is still the same, 2019. Once again, we say good morning to you, and we thank God for each and every one of you. We got a sort of mixture of what's going on today as far as the weather is concerned, and certainly we got no mixture when it comes down to Sunday and Monday, but we'll give you that in a few minutes. But just want you to know this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Once again, good morning to you, and we thank God for you. This is going to be a 3-hour special. I just want you to know that. A 3-hour special. And this, my first 2 hours, of course, you have with Hello Detroit, hosted by myself. And then the second hour, we'll talk about job fairs. We got some people coming in. We got a job fair coming on that will be a week on next Friday. Want to make sure you know who's going to be there, what we're trying to do, and the kind of things you need to do to get prepared for it. And so that's the second hour. And then the third hour, we're talking about men, women of excellence and women of excellence, sponsored by the Michigan Chronicle here in the city of Detroit. And so, again, someone called last week and said, you know, you and R.J. Watkins should work together and try to put things together. So we're trying this. I met with R.J., who's just really a wonderful guy and basically wants the best for the city, best for the station, and certainly for the viewing audience. And so we're trying to do more of this, but we'll see how this works out and hope that you stay with us and participate, and also get to call around and let people know that we are on channel 20, Comcast 2091, and that also we can get us on WHPR.com in terms of internet. And so that's the way you get us, and certainly we are just asking that you try to work with both of us, and that is with R.J. Watkins and WHPR, as well as Comcast 20, what we call the church network. And so, again, we just thank God for each and every one of you. Want you to know, my sisters and brothers, that, you know, from time to time I come in on Saturday mornings and hope that you're going to have some effect, that you'll have some impression or something that basically that people will walk away with and feel like it's been a learning experience. Obviously, many times when I walk away, I know I walk away with much more than I come into the studio with. And so I just want you to know it is a give and take, and certainly want you to know that indeed I'm a beneficiary of all of your information as well. And so I want to basically let you know that's where I'm coming from. There are times when I feel like many of you do, when you've been doing something for so long, you feel like that perhaps maybe you just need to move over and let somebody else come in and do it. And then, you know, I'm basically walked by the Spirit. And I guess when the time comes, I guess the Spirit will let me know when it's time to just to walk away and try to let somebody else do it if they're going to do it at all. So I want you to know I do everything I can to try to be responsive as a minister, as a advocate for the city of Detroit, and advocate for those of you who cannot speak for yourself. Like we talked about the raccoons, and that I talked to the environment department. They're working on this at haste and working on it in a big way. I think you feel that there will be some response in regards to that. And then there was something else that we were working on, and then I also want to give you an update in terms of the vote of the Detroit Police Commission in regards to person identity. And while we, for the most of all, many of us voted for the person identity with the mayor and with Chief Craig, and give you some update on that, because I feel like that I owe that to you by being here on Saturday mornings, and I feel like many of you, perhaps, I know many of you don't agree with my politics, and that's understandable. I mean, everybody's got their own mindset and how they want things to work. and should work. And I know, but for the most part, my sisters and brothers, that we all basically in the same game, just trying to have different strategies of getting there. And so I know that, and many probably don't even agree with my theology as far as that's concerned, and I understand that as well. That's what this country is really all about. And so I just say that in an introduction-like way to let you know how grateful I am to be with you on this Saturday morning, and that we have a package deal coming in this morning from up until about 12 o'clock. And so again, I hope that you stay with us and that you will get the word out. And as I said, with the internet, with WHPR.com, and then also with channel Comcast 20, as well as Comcast 91. I'm sure there are other mechanisms that you can watch us on or listen to us as well. We hope it's all going like it's supposed to. But I'm just letting you know, for the most part, that I'm just grateful to be with you on this Saturday morning. The telephone numbers are right there on your television screen: 868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Those are the numbers there that you might want to call in. I really got several things I want to talk about this morning. I want to talk about this global warming situation, where basically, like in New York, a lot of, kids were marching and turned out, they had the excuse, permission to leave school in order to participate in a global warming march, especially in New York, I think it was, and maybe in Washington. And I'm just saying to you is that I want to talk a little bit about that global warming. There is a piece that I'm working on for broadcasting, and that is in terms, why do we have basically bad weather? Why do we have bad weather? Why do we have hurricanes and typhoons and all of that? Why do we have them? And there is a theology behind it, and also for the most part there is an intellectual research behind it as well, where science and theology is working together, trying to work on that and try to bring that to you, because I'm very concerned that basically this global warming thing is getting to be more like a religion than it is than a kind of an issue. Because understand, I said, this is a big world. It's a big world, and understand that you got China, you got Japan, you got Russia, all of those people that full smart, they don't have anybody marching on them in terms of global warming. And so what you want to do, you must understand, is that you got to have a world participation, and if you don't have world participation on anything, then you cannot expect one country, because we have the ability to do it, because we have the First Amendment, that it's going to work. The other thing I just want to try to throw that in there, and that is that this is God's world, and and I think for the most part, many people, and I know I can hear some of you right now through the television and through the internet saying, "There he goes again. There he goes." This is God's world. I don't see how in the world that God will allow any man or woman, or the human, the creation, really mess up with the Creator. I don't know how in the world you think that, and many of these people do not believe in God. The children are taught against God, and you're going to tell me that mankind is going to basically control nature? Talk to me. You really think that mankind can control nature? But there is something there in the Bible, and there is something there in science that basically let you know what's going on. Yes, I know that water, that Texas is under water, and I know the Bahamas has the Grand Bahamas has been for the most part destroyed, and all of that. But I'm also saying to you that again, nature, you can't control nature, And that's something that I think also we must understand, that God uses nature as well in terms of what His purpose are here in this on this planet and in this world. And so again, I just want to put that in your mind. And of course, many of us are caught up on local issues, and I can understand that. But when I see children being indoctrinated in terms of global warming and all these other issues that these grown folk basically have going on, and really have nothing else to do, it seems, but to march on every other situation. And I'm not suggesting that marching is bad. Obviously, we did it in the civil rights, and was successful in doing it. But I'm just saying to you, my sister and brother, this whole thing about global warming, that you basically turn and letting kids out of school and give them permission to participate on a school day, and it's just somehow it's just not. I think it's not ethical in terms of really of giving these children and the young people in the school system give them a choice, because basically we're indoctrinating them as to what we really believe. And so again, I just want to bring that to you and see what you think about it, because again, I just feel like, whether you're Muslim or whether you're Christians or whether you are indeed any other religion, that you got to believe that God is in control of this world. Whether you believe in the Holy Spirit and Jesus, but many of you who believe in God, the Creator, that He's in control of this world, and not going to allow His creation to basically destroy the Creator. And that's what this whole world is, where it seems like this country is going. I don't understand, and then I just feel like, and for those of you my age, I think I'm talking to you more than probably than anyone else maybe, and that is that you just kind of wonder where are people going? I mean, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to do? I mean, obviously, there is a lot of problems with this country, but I certainly don't feel like I want to make it Russia, or that I want to make it China. I don't want to make it one of those places in the Middle East. I don't want to make it like Venezuela. I mean, what is it that and obviously when you a 200-some-year-old country, that basically you're young, and obviously there's been a lot of mistakes made, and obviously again racism is just is still alive and well. There's no doubt about it, but there are instances where you feel like we're getting better, we are getting better, and it doesn't mean that we have to stop getting it and working on it to get it even better. But the point is that, my sister and brother, how do you feel about all this stuff? How do you feel about where this country is going? How do you feel about the Democratic Party? I know how we feel about the Republican Party, but I mean, how is it that, and you have this tent that the Democrats basically has, and every other person in the world other than conservatives are under this tent. Every ethnic group in the world is under this tent. How are you going to take care of all of them? And every time we get to the front of the burner, we get pushed back for somebody else. And that's been happening to the African American community, for African American people, as long as I've been in this world. Every time we just think we're almost there, then somebody comes back and gets in front of us, and we go back and start all over again. And that's what it seems. 868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336. Those are the numbers, and you're certainly welcome to call us here this morning as we get started on this this journey in terms of trying to basically just give up some of to talk to us about some of the issues that's taking place here. One of the things again that I bring up and every time I look at my notes over the period of last night, looking over my notes from each segment on Saturdays for the last 6 or 7 months, that I've been bringing up this thing about homicide in urban America, and it just seems like that we don't even talk about it. I can almost. I mean, I'm trying to get America to talk about it, trying to get leadership to talk about it, trying to get a conference here in Detroit to talk about it. But it seems even here, when I bring it up with you, it's almost we just it's like we've given up on it. Yes, obviously we have still been shot by police officers, and police officers have been shot by African Americans. And so we know that's still going on, but when it comes down to the fact is that when we want to talk about how we killing each other, it seems like we want to throw some excuses in there. Well, it's drugs, it's gain, and I'm sure it is a part of it, and it has to do with the fact is that the gang people don't have no way to bring drugs in, and so. So it's got to be somebody else's fault. They bring in rat poison, but we don't worry about, we don't take that. They bring that in too. And I'm just saying to you that sometimes, my sisters and brothers, I just feel like that we come here and we talk and try to really relate with each other and understand that, I mean, how many black mothers have to go to bury their children? How many of them have to bury their children, and until we basically come to a point where we have to say enough is enough? Whether we have 160 people, as of Thursday, 160 people homicides in the city of Detroit. Basically, we're around 250 at the end of the year. So do we settle on that? Is that what we do? We just basically, well, we know we're going to have 250. We had 250 last year, 250 last year, before that, the year before that. And so we just know we can't do any better than that. So we just basically expect 250 people to die, homicides, and basically we do nothing but accept it. And this is, something's wrong with that. Something is wrong with that. And I know this is not going to sit with many of you because I'm one of them, and that is that the church, the preacher. When I look what's going on in California with the homeless, I mean, there's nothing that's coming back here to say help us, give us some money or anything to try to help us with the homeless out there. Where is the church? Where is the preacher? In Chicago. I mean, where is the church? Where is the preacher? Where are the headquarters of Minister Farrakhan is in Chicago. Jesse Jackson headquarters in Chicago. President Barack Obama is from Chicago. We could go on and on and on. We've got a mayor, a black woman that's a mayor there. I'm just saying, somebody saying, I mean, what else has to happen in order for us to address it? I sit at the table and try to get some interest in terms of putting up an urban agenda for the city of Detroit in terms of how we're going to combat crime, and how do you try to prevent it? Is it really about jobs? Is it a culture? Is it the fact is it really drugs and drugs only? Is it the fact is that when we teach our children how to work out their conflicts when they're in school, so when they be an adult, they know how to articulate their conflict rather than to shoot each other? And so I'm just saying to you, where this is the kind of thing I just feel like that again, that we all got some part to play in this, whether you're Baptist, Methodist, or Muslim. The point is that we all got some part to play in this, and maybe they are, and I just don't know. Maybe they are, and I just don't know. Don't have to know, and maybe they just don't know. But I'm just saying to you that somehow, some kind of way, it just seems like we don't really care. We don't really care about each other. So why should others care about you? Why should others care about you? When I look at television and see basically, how we talk about each other, to other people about each other on sitcoms, well, like in Sanford and Son, for example, he says, you better get your car out of here by dark if you want to. This guy wanted a tip. Said, well, I'll give you a tip. My tip is you get your car out of here by dark. And so that's a signal that's what happens in the black community. You can go from one sitcom to one thing to the other in terms of trying to understand that why people think the way they think about us and how we think about each other. We laugh about it. It's laughable for us. But somehow, some kind of way, my sister, we got to get serious. 25 minutes after the hour. Caller, thank you for calling. How are you?
Good morning. I just wanted to comment on the victory of some to have facial recognition proved. As far as I'm concerned, it's all about who gets the contract. It's not about the people's protection, safety. They're not coming to save, but they're further going to come to enslave. And we already know the data on how inefficient this is and how it targets the minority and the blacks unfairly. And we're already being placed in record numbers into prison. Why? Because nobody wants to acknowledge the root of all the evil, how they psychologically and educationally, economically, and all the other leads that they have done to cause a group of people to be so insane and mentally ill that the predators themselves have turned a group of people into predators among themselves. So it's just a domino effect. And the reason why your black and white presidents and most of your poverty pimps, they do nothing but do what they're told and adapt the behavior of the very oppressors that started the domino effect of this insanity and this austerity that's always targeting our community. Okay. Thank you for taking my call.
And thank you for the call. Call you in touch her this morning. Good morning. I called you in touch. How are you? Okay, fine. 27 minutes after the hour, and I thank you for your comment. And I know that many times when you do call, I know that those are the kind of I hear you from time to time talking about the fact that you feel that many of us are bought and paid for, and that there is something in it for us, and monetarily, those kind of things. And I just feel like that this you obviously you have a right to feel that way. I'm not suggesting that you do not, but I'm just saying to you is I think for the most part that's really not the case. I think the point is that for the most part many people we understand just because we're black doesn't mean we think alike. We think different. It doesn't mean that we are that you're bad and I'm good, or I'm bad, I'm good and you bad. It just means the fact is that we just think alike. And how do we basically think together and try to understand that indeed that perhaps maybe this is what this person, that person really feels the value of the issue, rather than that they've been bought off. And I'm just saying to you is I hear you, and I know We have history like that. But again, when I move around and understand, I try to say to you that I'm not just a spectator in this. I try to be a participant in this, and that again, like for example, the person facial recognition piece that you brought up, and that you perhaps feel that basically that those of us who voted for it were bought off, and that kind of a thing, and indicated, and I, again, I'm just saying to you, I tried to get everyone that was against it. I tried to make that talk to me. I asked them to make an appointment that they would go and look at the command center and try to see what I saw. And do you come away with the same? Will you come away with the same feeling that you have? Will you come around with the same feeling that I have? And many people who basically did not go to the command center to see what this is all about. And I really feel like when I looked at mud shots and over the years, it's nothing but a high-tech mud shot. Instead of going page 6 people on a page, you get 180 people on a page. And I'm just saying to you is that it cannot be used in surveillance. It cannot be used that way. And there are other ways that you cannot use it, and if you do, that you're basically subject to be fired and basically stopped. And so I'm just saying to you is that the state uses it. The police department has been using it for a year and a half. The city council gave them the money to buy it, and now the city council wants to basically now have another meeting, which is fine. And then perhaps they need to put it on the ballot and let the people decide, what they really wanted or not. Is that the way to go? But the city council has that power to do that. But they gave them the money, and so you get mad at people like me for basically, if you gave them the money. I'm looking at it and looked at it for about an hour and 20 minutes, and went over it over and over and over it, and basically come out with the conclusion that it's nothing more than a mugshot, basically a mugshot, a high-tech mugshot. Rather than having 6 on a page, you got 180 on a page. And I'm just saying to you again, but it has nothing to do with many people taking bribes or taking money for the decision that we make. And obviously, I'm also wanted them to know at the board meeting that I am a mayor's appointee. I'm not elected, and so I basically have a opportunity to really make up my own mind, and not to listen to anyone else, including the mayor. And so I'm just saying to you is that at some point or another, when you talk about 250 people dying and we don't have no way of killed, and don't have no way of finding them, and then people they don't snitch on you. We got in the community, we got this no snitch policy, and then you got 2,000 robberies and assaults that's going on, and nobody wants to tell who's responsible for it. And so, and understand, my sister, and I know that I watch the television all day. The television watches me all night, and this whole world, this whole technology has gotten to the point where basically it is, whether it's in this car factory, taking jobs, and basically are building cars without the human, and this is what's going to happen in the future. And whether it's green light or whether it's red light or no light, the point is that this thing is changing. It's changing. It's just really changing, and I think that we just got to make sure that it is that is not used in a way of violating people's rights. For example, the software will prohibit the use of facial recognition for surveillance. It can't be used for that. It cannot be used for surveillance. And I'm just saying to you is that also that it provides there's a price heavy penalty if the police officer, if the police department violates these things that's been put in place to make sure that people are indeed protected. And so you have oversight. And again, as I said before, whatever goes on in California, I don't want to live in California. I don't want to be in California. I don't want to do anything, because California, for the most part, is not really a city or a state or a country, a state that really I want to emanate anything in Detroit, because basically those people have just gone crazy, and politically, socially, theologically, and every other way. That's my personal opinion. 868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Those are the numbers. And calling you and touch. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Yes, how are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
Okay, good. You're on the air.
Oh, okay, Rev Holley. I was looking at you on Facebook. You didn't have a good connection.
Yeah.
But excuse me, but I just want to say thank you for letting me shoot my movie Souls of Black Men at your church a few years ago.
Yes.
It came on TV during Black History Month.
Right.
And I just wanted to thank you for that.
Okay.
Been on the International Movie Database. And thank you, and keep more power to you.
Right.
And there's people out there doing the best thing.
Right. And thank you very much. Appreciate that.
All right.
Appreciate it so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's 36 minutes after the hour. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, and this, and I was hoping that I can get the chief, that he calls, we call him the chief in terms of the fire department, is that the lady that took Don Conyers' place to the Congress lady to leave. My sister and brother, she's now basically has a flag outside of her office and in her office that's for 51 states, 51 stars in her flag. And the 51 stars represents, there's another state that she wants to add to the 50 states that we already have. And that state is Washington, D.C. Now, what in the world does she have to do with basically promoting Washington, D.C.? I don't, maybe it's just me, and I try to be so careful because I know that I can this backness gets in my way, I guess, the way I think and so forth. But I don't understand how we sit here and just allow this person, who basically is supposed to be representing the 13th district and the people here in the city of Detroit, they're basically doing nothing, just nothing. We got kids here that basically are trying to get the help with in terms of the school system, all kinds of stuff. I could go on, and you can't tell. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why. And the NAACP and Wendell, you can probably, probably don't like this, but I don't understand it. I don't understand why you guys sit here and basically who don't really speak up and say that what about us? What about us? I know her background is Palestinian. I understand that. But the Palestinians didn't vote her. They gave her the money probably, but they didn't vote for her. We voted for her. At least you did. And I'm just saying to you, myself, I don't understand. Now Now she's on the soap opera of trying to get Washington, D.C. to be a state. Yeah. Anyway, I probably need to take a break, but I do want to indicate to you that this is at the 10 o'clock hour. We will have a panel talking about the job fair that's coming up next Friday, and so I just want you to stay with us for all the way up until 12 o'clock, if you would please, and try to get this information that we're trying to get to you. Wayne County Community College District Job Fair and Skill Expo. And so we're talking about maybe 62 to 67 vendors that will be there in terms of skilled trades and in terms of other companies there that will be letting you know that they're hiring, what is it that they need from you to be hired and so forth. But anyway, that hour would be about job skills. And then the third hour, starting at 11 o'clock, the 11 to 12, with Women of Excellence with Elizabeth Mays and Men of Excellence. And so sponsored by the Michigan Chronicle. So we're basically trying to, as indicated earlier, that we were trying to make sure that we took advantage of the comment and suggestion that the caller made last week, that RJ and Holly would get together and try to work together in order to try to put our programming simulcasting. And so we're going to try to work on that. But this will be a sort of like a, for lack of a better word, just a trial run and see how it works and see how it does. So again, I just want you to know this is a 3-hour package that we're bringing to you this morning. Obviously, I'll be here to about 9:45. They'll be coming in at 10 o'clock. And then at 11 o'clock, the Women of Excellence, trying to make sure that our young people understand that there's the possibilities and what it really takes to really be successful, and by listening to other people's stories and so forth. And so that's what we're trying to do. So again, just wanted to make sure that you know this is a 3-hour package that we're bringing to you here on this Saturday morning. And if it works out, we'll see if we can do it again. And obviously, we're here to serve you and try to make sure it is just not going through programming, but it's really going to be a blessing, and that it's going to be valuable. It's going to be valuable to the community in terms of what are we trying to do. So I just want you to know this is a package program. And so, again, just stay there with us up until 12 o'clock and get you some coffee and a little eggs, a little bacon, a little toast, and just basically know that it's going to be a good day. And, of course, about 2 or 3 o'clock, we're expecting some rain to come in. High today is going to be about 85 degrees. Don't forget now, tomorrow, I think the fall comes in tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So we're on this is like the last day of spring, of summer, going into fall tomorrow, and of course, but it's going to be, the next week is not going to be that bad. I think they're going to have a blending of weather coming in for this, introducing fall to us. But nevertheless, my sister, brother, we just thank God for each and every one of you. Caller, thank you for your patience. How are you?
Good morning, Happy.
Yes, how are you?
Real good. You know, first of all, like you say, in the 13th district, what's the representative name? I can't pronounce it.
Talib.
Yes. Well, you know, she needs to be focusing, like you say, on education and stuff that's going to benefit the community here. Stop worrying about Washington, making it a state or whatever. Now, another thing, when you get time, I understand that they're going to keep the Greyhound station where it's at, MDOT, for how long they're going to stay there, because, you know, it's good that the people was calling Greyhound and calling the city and whatever. You got to get out enforcement to keep something going, because moving that, making an impact on the city. So maybe you can if maybe somebody will call in and find out exactly how long they're extending them to be there and what will happen if they move and where they move. I hope they don't move out the city.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to call back. I always enjoy your program.
Thank you, and I appreciate the call, and I'll get that for you. Call in touch Hardy this morning. Good morning.
Which car you?
I beg your pardon? Okay, all right. 16 minutes to the hour. It is that the so many calls went into MDOT and the bus company, and of course, I think what they're going to do is give them a longer time to try to find and build something before the move, and so I don't think it's going to stay there. I think it's just a giving them a chance to a little longer chance to make sure the transition takes place. But it will stay in Detroit. They're going to find a place where the bus company, as I understand it, based upon one of the council people that I talked to on Thursday, is that they're basically going to stay in Detroit. Just got to find a place that's going to be what I'm trying to say, where it's convenient for Detroiters to get to, and also there needs to be parking, for the patrons and people that's coming in and waiting for people and so forth. And so they're going to restructure that. Again, like I indicated, they're only paying about $700 for that building, $700 a month on that building. The taxes that the state pays subsidizes the bus system. The Greyhound, it subsidizes them. If you could do that, maybe you and I can basically have a bus depot and have Greyhound to rent from us. You know, I mean, you $700 a month, and then it's subsidized by the city, by the state. Oh my goodness, man, that's a sweet deal. That's a sweet deal. Called you in touch already this morning.
Good morning, Reverend Holley.
Yes, how are you?
I'm so.
Okay.
Now I have a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Referring to the facial recognition technology, I have a quick question. How did you vote?
I voted for it.
Oh, okay. Can you explain of why you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll give it to you in about 10 minutes.
And I also wanted to clarify the Greyhound.
Yes, ma'am.
I read the article, and Michigan Transportation extended them.
Yeah.
Because they had so much, backlash and feedback and
right.
stuff like that.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works. Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they won't be moving.
Right. Right now.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not what I got from the article. They
You're
just
right.
won't be moving.
Yeah, but I'm just saying to you right now. I'm just.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and I will do that. Call you in touch. How are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Reverend.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Every time I think about this lady who basically goes through one thing or another, your name pops up in my mind. I said, man, that chief, I just want to take him and just basically just shake him.
Oh, no, don't do that. Well, what's going on now?
I mean, she's basically now wants to work to get the Washington D.C. estate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the first I heard of that.
Yeah, I mean, she's got the flag up, got a marked flag up in the office, and in front, and basically it's got another star on it, not 50 stars, but 51, and got the Washington D.C. And I mean, there's plenty of people in Washington, Virginia, Maryland. That's their cause. It had nothing to. What has Michigan got to do with that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like I say, that's the first I heard of it.
I said, I got to admit to you, because when she got elected,
yeah.
and you and I had to come, you said you gave me all the stuff that she did, and the reason why you were very supportive, and said, "Dadgummit, that chief, man, let me find him. Let me find him."
Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna check and find out what's going on, but I got a couple of questions.
Sure.
For you.
Yeah.
Okay. And it pertains to the Avenue of Fashion.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you've been in Detroit, okay, to your knowledge, when have the black business community support the people on people issues?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's been long. Yeah, I hear you.
That's one, and then the second one is the Q line. During the construction of the Q line, what assistance did those downtown businesses and midtown businesses receive from the city? During that construction, because this fiasco debacle on the Avenue of Fashion is crazy.
Yeah, let me tell you this, Chief. This which really bothers me. That bothers me too. But watch this. The Wayne County Treasurer, Eric Sabree.
Yes.
He rented a hall for 300 business people from Illinois to come in, and so that they can work their taxes out, so they would not lose their business, and get them down to $100 a month while this construction is going on. Do you know only one person showed up?
Wow.
And I don't know. It could be some other reasons. Okay, I'm not trying to sound bad, but I'm saying to you is that Eric Sabree trying to, because he can't do nothing. He's not the city. He's the county, and what he's trying to do is make sure they don't lose their business while they're basically are in this situation. So he's doing what he can, and so he basically rented a building, auditorium, to come in and set all these people up so they can come in, and so that they can basically pay taxes while this is going on, like $100 to what he could do.
Mm-hmm.
And not only one showed up.
Well, my concern with this whole situation, Reverend Holley, is this is crazy. Now, when you say, what about us? I'm saying the same thing, because this situation is crazy. I mean, we all know when the Downtown Development Authority, not the Development Authority, but the Economic Growth Corporation was created in, 78, 79, their main interest was to protect the interests of the immediate downtown area. So when Midtown came about, the mayor, whoever the mayor was, whether it was Kwame or Dave Bing, when Midtown came about, all the mayor did was expand with the stroke of a pen. He expanded the boundaries to include Midtown. I'm saying that, hey, if the mayor did that, then this mayor, it could be any mayor. All he got to do with the stroke of a pen is expand the boundaries to include the Avenue of Fashion businessman or business person. And see, this don't make no sense. Why should the white business owners enjoy the luxury of tax incentives, grant and subsidies, when the black businessmen have to go out and get a loan? So
let me ask you, you know they're organized up there, right? On the owners they have an organization up there on Illinois, right?
Yes, sir.
So what gets me, there's something that the city didn't do for me. I went down and just sit until they saw me. And I'm just saying to you is that why wouldn't all 200 and 75 people go in and just sit in the mayor's office till they see him and do something for them. I'm just saying. In other words, Reverend, I don't mean no harm, and because you don't know all the circumstances, you really don't. All you know, as a person, there's a Monday night, quarterback. But I'm just saying to you is that you know how you bring this thing to a head is just go down there and sit in the office and demand that the mayor, you do something about our business, and bring it up. I don't know. In other words, Reverend, you got to, you just can't sit there and let people just run over you. You got to basically fight, and that's why you have an organization. And so when they were basically telling me what I couldn't do with a sign, and so I went to zoning. And they're gonna tell me how, and Illich built a sign on Woodward bigger than mine, and so I just sit there and I was not gonna move until you guys hear me, and then what you did for Illich, you got to do for me, and I'm just saying to you, what you did for Midtown, you got to do it for us, but you can't. I don't know all the circumstances. It's not fair, to talk like this and don't know all the circumstances. They may have done that. But if they did, I don't know nothing about it. The city don't know nothing about it. But you can't sit there and let them just run over you and destroy your business.
That's right. And see, that's what's happening now. And so, we took a survey, and number one, I asked the question, when have the black business community got behind and support the people? And I'm telling you, Reverend Holley, everyone that we surveyed said they have never heard or seen the black business community support people. Okay? And I'm telling you, we took this survey, and the survey, it was an extensive survey. So what we would like to do is cordially invite the business community to come out to Detroiters United LLC call to action October 5th. Okay?
Yeah, but Chief, talk to me. I mean, Chief, why won't some of the people from there come to the meeting and give you an idea of what's going on and why they didn't do this, why they're not doing that? I mean, in other words, Reverend, I remember when Mrs. Teller had us out there marching around the Fisher, but not the Fisher, but the state building down there, Cadillac building, and 30,000 women were put off of welfare because for no clothing for the children. Now I don't have no children on welfare, and so I was a day late, but I got there, but the people that was put off wasn't even there. So if the people in Livernois is not there, why in the heck should I be there?
Well, see, the thing is this, Reverend Holley, like I say, we're inviting them to come to this call to action.
Okay, all right, okay.
So that we can find out what's going on. We can hear from them. We have our solutions. We like to hear their solutions.
Okay. And
maybe we can come up with something. So, again, that's October 5th. Mary Grove College, Madam Cadillac Building, from 2 to 5, because we cannot allow white men coming in trying to strong arm and disrespect our black women, business owners, black people, period. And so when I hear black people say that they sat in all the meetings with the mayor and the mayor's administration on this construction issue, where clearly the mayor administration is not listening to you, because it's my understanding that they've been talking about this construction for over a year, and they were telling the mayor that they didn't want it. So you see what's happening, and even the mayor said he made, it was a mistake that they made with this construction. So what we need, one of the things we need, like I said, is the mayor to expand the boundaries of the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation to include the business owners on the avenue of Fashion Nation, not have to get loans, And then number two, they need to have a true, legitimate community benefit agreement. Three, they need the Citizens District Council back. If we had those three things, we wouldn't have the situation. So again, we're asking the business community and everybody to come out. Let's hear what the business community, what their solutions are, because we have our solutions.
Got you. Thank you very much. You got the address for it?
Mary Grove College, right off of 6 Mile.
Right. Got you. Okay.
6 Mile of Wyoming.
Okay. And it's in October, right?
October 5th.
All right. So you give me another call Saturday, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. Let me take a break. It's just half a minute to the hour, and I got 4 or 5 people calling. So just give me a couple of minutes here. And then I want to give you an idea, my sister brother, of why I supported the policy that the chief of police put before the council, before the police commission, and that it passed. And then I owe that to you, and you may agree or disagree, but I owe it to you. And I will take time out and try to. I got a statement that I basically have written so that I knew that indeed that I owe this to you, and I want to say it to you, and then you can respond to it. But let me take a moment and go to a couple of commercials. So we'll be right back.
We'll say a little prayer for you, and I will always care for you. Hello, Detroit.